Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Target Transfers podcast. Today we've got San from Bella Canvas back with us. Thank you so much for coming back. How are you?
Of course, no problem. My pleasure. I'm really well, thank you.
Good. It's so good to have you in our new set. Last time you were here,
yes.
we were in our old set. We were on uncomfortable chairs. Now we're back in.
Listen, you guys are evolving every single time that I come here, and yeah, it's great. And listen, I got the nice coffee this time, so I must be doing something right.
Oh, don't. Yeah, that's one of my pet peeves is coffee. We have this conversation a lot in the office. Yeah. I'm definitely a coffee snob.
There you go.
I think I even said that on the last podcast, actually. We won't go there. But yeah, so you came along with us on the evolution of heat transfer, heat printing, education, everything, because we had the colour launch event here not long ago, which was a fantastic day.
It really was. It was brilliant. And we were talking about this earlier, where it was so different from any kind of shows or events that we've done previously. We found we were able to give the customers so much more time because they were there for the education, and they really did want to know which teas are good for which types of prints, or what can they add in their collections, and what's big and new for next year, so they can get a big heads up. It was fantastic. It really was. And we've not really had that before. We feel like in other shows, I've got literally maybe 1 or 2 minutes to have a conversation because there is like a queue of 40 people waiting to, speak to yourself. And it was brilliant. It was really, really, really good. So yeah, we were so happy.
What sort of questions were people asking? What are the most common questions that you found on the day?
We found, so I think the question of, what transfers to use on what products, that was kind of eliminated in our whole presentation that we did together, because it was super clear that you can use all of your transfers on all of our products. You just have to adjust the settings or what have you. So that was kind of dealt with, I think, in the beginning. So we had more questions on what would you recommend? So what would I recommend for their brand or their business? What is going to be big for 2023, and what are they missing? So what have we got in our top 10 that's selling really well that they don't have? So we were looking at things like that, and I was looking at some of their lines and thinking, okay, great, you've got the basics, but you're missing just a couple of, key pieces. So we had a lot of interest in the matching sets, because we're one of the only brands to have that many colorways. And the colorways, and I love to point this out, yes, of course, we'll do your team purples and your Kellys and your True Royals, but they're not very fashionable. Those colors aren't out there. It's more, tan, mauve,
For those of you watching on YouTube.
Tan, mauve, storm white, those colors are what people actually want to wear and are what is in retail. So we have those colors. So people were, super, super excited about that. Yeah.
I was just thinking, because obviously a lot of the people that are listening are people who are doing the kind of the garment decorating.
Yes.
For them to then, they also need to then pitch onto their customers at the end. So is there any sort of valuable information you'd give about how to describe some of the new extra bits that they could perhaps pass on and use as their own sales pitch?
Yeah, I mean, we had a good few conversations about the sustainable and that whole story aspect. It was a big kind of topic with a lot of customers. So we were going through that, and I was explaining, look, we only use Blue Sign certified dye. So that's such a big point for us, and not a lot of other brands use it. And, dyes are very harmful. So we need to make sure we're using the correct dyes. And that kind of information, just having even just that little piece of information and passing that on to the customer is huge. As well as, things like, for them, I guess tearaway labels are great because they can rebrand very easily. But for the end customer, we have the stock available in the UK. They can have as much as they need. We have, a huge amount of colorways readily available for them. We are evolving. We're so ahead of any other brand out there, where we look at what's going on. We're kind of done with what's going on now. We're looking for the next year, 2-3 years in advance. That's how much advance we're working. We literally had an email go out the other day, and we're looking at some styles for 2024, 25, and I'm thinking, okay, so we haven't even started 23, but okay. So that's how we're working, which gives the end user so much confidence because they feel, wow, they're so ahead of trends. They'll be the first to have this colorway or the first to have this style, which, you know, that's what people want. They want to be the first. They want to be ahead of what's going on.
Yeah, I think that's really important, not just for the people that are thinking of doing it as a clothing brand.
Right.
You definitely need to be on trend for that.
Yes.
That's a non-negotiable.
Of course.
But I think even, and this is a similar discussion we had to one of our customers that came in on the podcast the other day, is that every aspect of workwear, teamwear, anything that is branded, the end user has much more of a want and a need for it to be fashionable. Now, they don't just want like simple colors. They want, if we're going to pay money to get something with our logo on this, might as well have a nice finish, a nice cut to it, a nice color.
This is it. We found it was so interesting for us, where I had quite a big order on it was a few different heather colored 3001 tees, and you know, I always, you know, question, and I like to find out where they're going, so it gives us a real good idea. And would you believe it was in the construction industry? And I would never have placed like some of our styles within that industry, because historically they're known as more, you know, they like the real heavyweight carded open end, sorry to say, like itchy fabric style tees, right? That are on the market.
It's cheap, aren't they?
There you go. Exactly. They're a lot cheaper. And they were switching to our 3001 and 3001 CVC, the heather option. And I said, wow, this is great. This is amazing. What's the reason for this shift? Like, why did you pick Bella Canvas? And they said, well, number one, the fit is fantastic. Actually, people want things that fit really well. They don't want it to be super short and uncomfortable, and it fits well. We use heirloom cotton, so they said it was so soft to feel. And they're wearing this every single day. So they, you know, it's important. It's on your skin, so you need it to be soft. And thirdly, it was just, we don't just want a boring black t-shirt. We want to try something else. And okay, granted, it wasn't anything like a neon yellow or a, you know, a neon pink, but it was like the heather, the black heather, the deep heather, athletic gray. So it's getting them out and trying something a little different, because that generation is actually, and that workforce is a lot younger now, and they're looking at what they would usually wear, you know, as a t-shirt. So, and they're trying to bring that into the industry. So it's fantastic for us.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. And that echoes a lot of conversations I've had with the companies that are making the high vis parts that go with that, is that the cut and the fit of a lot of those jackets that go with them are much different. They're much more in sort of body shapes now, rather than just like one square fits all.
Exactly.
I think the customers there are driving that to the end user, but there's no reason why they're like, for instance, if you go into a construction company now, don't just think, oh, you have to take what we've always taken. So
right.
Take like, okay, try something different, because you find that they might be like, actually, do you know what? I would fancy a change. It would look something a bit nicer.
Yeah, exactly. They don't always know what they want until they see it, essentially. And you need to, they won't think about it until, like you say, you take it to them and you go, this is what I can do, this is what I can offer you.
No, definitely. I mean, I'm a big advocate. This is why I go and see customers and work with our distributors, where you literally have to see it and feel it. You cannot make these decisions from a catalog or, you know, a website. It's so difficult. You know, our imagery is amazing, if I do say so myself. It's fantastic, and it is the best on the market. We use top modeling agencies out in Los Angeles. It looks incredible, but there's nothing like it being in your hand and really getting across why Bella Canvas, why are we different, and that's really it. I mean, even for you guys, you could have picked any brand you wanted in the world, and you've stuck with Bella Canvas, and that's incredible. You wouldn't be wearing our t-shirts if it was super itchy, uncomfortable, and didn't feel good.
Yeah, we wouldn't even have the conversations in the first place. No.
Yeah, it's Andy's got a podcast jumper, and it's the black Bella fleece, I was going to say. And every time we do a podcast, he goes, where's that jumper? He's like, I want to wear that one. He's like, where's the Bella one?
I'm going to get you so many, because you deserve it. You've done so well. And I need
He's wearing them. We're all wearing Bella Canvas today.
I love it.
That's the jumper that we can't get Andy out of. No, but he just wears it for everything.
Listen, don't try and get him out. He's happy.
Bit of variety, Sam. He's got some new colours going on in there. No, it's good. We have actually used, going off topic slightly, but speaking of using your Bella canvas and actually using brands that we love, that's why you were the first person I reached out for when it came to podcast clothing, because Andy and I had the conversation of we need to do something a bit different. You know, we are heat transfer manufacturers, and we're wearing plain one color, which, you know, is great, but we wanted to try something a bit different. And the first person I came to was you. I was like, Sam, we're doing this. What do you think's the best option? And lo and behold, all of these garments turned up, and they just were absolutely perfect. So
no, we appreciate it. I mean, this is why we like to partner up. Obviously, that you're a super high-end transfer company, and we are a high-end brand. Okay, the price point doesn't really reflect that because we're so competitive. But as a quality, you know, on the quality side, it is one of the softest fabrics you're going to get on the market, full stop. And I always say it goes into retail. So if it is good enough for retail, then of course it's fantastic for our industry. So
yeah, I think there's definitely been a shift in not just in the garment decorating industry, but in the world in the last 5-10 years, in that T-shirts always used to be casual. They always used to be you're at home wear. You never used to wear them out to work, anything like that. Whereas we're all wearing them now. It's become day-to-day wear. So I think the quality and the level of T-shirt that you look for, or companies look for when buying or decorating on, has changed, because the expectation used to just be, oh, that's just a T-shirt. But now there's so many options because it's one of the most popular items.
Completely. I mean, there's 2 points on that. I'd say most people wear T-shirts, whether even in the cold, whether it was -2 this morning, but I'm wearing it underneath, you know, a hoodie or a blazer or what have you. So most people do wear T-shirts. And secondly, it's, you know, after COVID, majority of people obviously at that time were working from home. So, you know, I'm not sitting there in a business suit or, you know, a super tight, you know, uncomfortable outfit. I'm wearing our full tracksuit and our sweatshirts and T-shirts, etc. And I feel like that's okay, maybe not as casual now, but, you know, people are still hanging on to wearing the T-shirts, they're wearing the sweatshirts, they want to be comfortable. And a lot of people do still work from home. So I think that's here to stay. I think the whole workwear style industry, obviously depending on which industry you're in, but as a whole, your regular corporate wear has completely changed, and we see that a lot. Hence why we've just, our growth has been incredible, to be honest with you, because people want to wear garments that they feel comfortable in, but also that they would go and purchase themselves. You know, and I think that's the key here.
I have one of the mauve jogger and top sets on this rail. And when I was decorating on a podcast the other day, I was like, do you reckon I could get away with wearing a tracksuit in one of these episodes? Is that acceptable?
I will push it to the maximum, but I don't think that I would love to, but I just think me turning up to a visit in a full tracksuit would be a little much. But yeah, I mean, they're super comfortable. I live in the T-shirts and sweatshirts, and that's me every day pretty much. So I'm very, very fortunate.
Yeah, they are extremely comfortable. They are, definitely.
I think as well as for anyone that's listening, that you as a kind of fulfillment company are in a way kind of responsible for helping your customers grow their own business. And one of the best ways for them to do that is for their employees to be wearing the workwear more often, even in and out of work, because they're walking billboards for you.
Exactly.
So
that.
if you're making products that are more comfortable, that they want to wear and that they enjoy wearing and are proud of, then they're going to wear it multiple times a week, or they might put it on at the weekend just to go to the shops or something. And you might find that they end up getting more business. Oh, what's that? That looks cool. What's that business? Oh, okay, I'll make a note that I need to get this or that done. And then you never know where it might spread by just having that little bit extra touches with your customers as well.
And I feel on that point as well is, you know, with your customers, when they're buying your transfers, they want to put that on. The transfer is super high quality, especially the colorways that you have in your options is, I've never seen anything like it. And putting that on a garment where after a good few washes, because it's got the side seams, it will hold its shape and it won't start to twist, or it's super high quality and it will, you know, stay on the garment. It won't start to peel or, you know, et cetera, et cetera. That's why it's so important. You're right. It's a walking billboard. we could have made garments which were super cheap and, you know, a throwaway style garment, but we're not. We're a sustainable company. We want customers to wash and wear our product for years and years and years. And that's the point. And I think that's why we work so well together, because we have the same kind of ethics on that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it comes down to the quality that you want your business to represent as well. So yes, people could go for a cheaper t-shirt, but the quality won't be the same. It will be itchy, right. It will scratch. It won't be the t-shirt they reach for in the wardrobe. We all have our favorites. There's the only ones you wear. You have a wardrobe full of clothes and you wear the same 3 things. Mm-hmm. And I think that's definitely something that everyone needs to be on board with, because we were discussing this with a customer who Andy's already said was in the other day for a podcast, and the price point between cheaper and higher end garments really isn't that much of a difference. I think if you haven't looked into it, people might think, it'd be quite a lot more, but it's not really that much of a price difference.
It's pretty incredible, to be honest with you, that with all the things that we do, for example, dyeing in the US, cutting in the US, using heirloom cotton, using blue sign certified dyes, etc., and having side seams and tearaway labels, we're around the pound, if not sometimes less than the pound mark, than your basic out there, which is, people are completely dumbfounded when I say that. And I think, the price point's amazing. We also, the setup, and this is the biggest thing for us, we've got the product perfectly, correct, and the quality's there. You've got the price point, which is there. And then the third aspect for any type of brand would be the stock and having the confidence. So we work with major companies. So for example, on the music merch side, your Warners, your Universal, Sony, etc. And, when they're having a tour, if it's a big tour, they will need 100,000 tees or, hoodies and what have you. So having the stock available gives customers so much more confidence. So if I had a black t-shirt, for example, at 3001, and I'm only showing 100 per size, it's not going to give you much confidence to put that forward, for your customer. So the fact that we work with all 3 distributors in the UK, so they all hold a significant amount of stock for us. Plus we have our own UK warehouse as well. And then if you start to go wider, we have a European warehouse, we have a Nicaragua warehouse, we have warehouses in the US. So having the stock confidence, I think, is a big point as well, because for your end customer.
There's a lot of Bella Canvas sitting around in boxes waiting to be worn.
I mean, let's get pushing. It's that season, so plenty of red t-shirts for Christmas.
Yeah, no, it's good to know that it's there though, because like you say, there's nothing worse than you fulfill an order for a customer, or you choose a brand and you really like them, and then you struggle for stock and you can't get hold of them, and then your orders are inconsistent. There's nothing worse than that. So having that reassurance, I think is, like you say, very, very helpful for a lot of customers.
Yeah. And it's a big way for people to win business, because we find the same is that lots of people that would come in and we do like one-to-ones with them, and like, biggest question, like, how can I be quicker? How can I get my turnaround time? Because the customer is like, okay, often goes with the quickest one.
Right.
Price is a factor.
Yeah.
But speed is also a big factor. And for us, because we're like, it's always 2 days for your transfers. They're like, okay, so my turnaround time's gone from 3 weeks to 1 week, let's say, by the time they've actually fused all the transfers on the t-shirts.
Right.
But then they get those jobs and they've got quick and they're ready for the next one. So they could do 3 lots of jobs before your competitor's done one.
Yeah, no, exactly that. And I think we live in that age. I mean, I think I'm definitely guilty of this. It's that Amazon effect where we want something yesterday. I mean, I ordered something yesterday to get delivered that last night because I needed it that quick. And it's that luxury of having that. And we have that now in our mindset. We don't have to wait a few days or a week or 2 weeks, God forbid,
It's all instant,
we can get everything instantly.
Even delivery says 3-4 days. I'm like, no.
And imagine, this is so new, because not that long ago we were waiting a week or 2 weeks and what have you, and it's changed our whole mindset. It has built over into our industry now, where people want things super fast. They want things yesterday. So this is why I mentioned the stock, and it's so important, because like exactly what you said, Andy, is they want to get it out as fast as possible, so then they can start on the next job or get the next job, because their competition is still figuring out the last order.
Plus as well is that if I was the person listening to this, I wouldn't want to have to hold lots of stock myself. It's just essentially wasted money if you've got like thousands of boxes sitting on yourself. Let Ralawise hold it for you and then just call it off as and when you need it, because they always send stuff next day anyway.
They're on a next day. Even sometimes you can get on a same day depending the cutoff. But a next day service, they hold a huge amount of stock in the UK. And this is why we work with distribution, because we believe it's the best way. We do it in the US too, where they will hold the stock for you. They're warehousing all the stock, and you don't really need to hold anything. You can get everything on a next day service. So it's brilliant. Yeah, really good.
Okay, so should we have a little dive into, Sam's brought some of the new colours here. So as we mentioned, we had the 2023 colour launch for Bella Canvas here a month ago now.
I know, yeah.
It only seems like it was last week. So Sam has brought some of the new colours with her today. So we're going to go through them, see what we've got. We did do a very brief overview video from the event. So if you want a quick snapshot of what all of the colours are, then you can head on to our YouTube channel and find that on there. But yeah, what have you got for us today? Let's have more of a deep dive.
Yes. Colours is another big focus for us for next year, and I've selected some new colours and also colours that we added this year but have sold really well and have gone into some crazy industries. So it's good to showcase, to give you guys a nice idea on what you can do and hopefully get some inspo. I've split the colours into 3 major sections. So we've got your greens, we have your blues and purples, and then I would say your more neutral tones. And these are doing fantastically for us, and they are actually currently in retail too. I mean, we have this great document that I'll share with you guys that you can share with people, and you can see within major retail brands where they're using these colors, hence why it was inspiration for us to add this into our line. So starting off with the greens, I mean, of course, guys, we have over 300 colors in the US, just so you know. So I would be here for 2 weeks talking about colors if I had to bring all those.
Yeah,
but
we're picking our favorites from the new release.
Right, exactly. So we added some real gorgeous green tones. So I've got your strobe, your sage, which you love, I know.
Sage is one of my favorites, I have to say.
And spring greens. We also have a new color for next year called synthetic green, which is super bright. It's beautiful. And we added a citron as well this year. So some really nice green tones, especially when we're talking about the whole sustainable, eco-friendly talk. People are liking putting that message on these types of tones because it is still quite neutral. So they work really well for us.
The strobe one, I think, caught people's eye a lot at the event. It was really it was a popular one, wasn't it?
This is also in one of our sweatshirts in the 3945, the drop shoulder sweatshirt. It does look a bit wild, like I'm not gonna lie, it's very bright, but I wore it on our sweatshirt. It's my favorite. It looks incredible, and I can imagine that with a really nice print on there would just pop. So yeah, those are our greens.
For anyone that's hasn't had the chance to listen to the first podcast that Sam did with us, where she went through a lot of jargon busting, if you could go onto somewhere like Ralawise or another distributor, just put 3945 into the search bar, you'll be able to find all of this stuff. And then after a while, you'll start to be talking.
Sorry, guys. It's all, exactly like you said. Any codes that we have, you can put them straight into, like you say, Ralawise's website. They'll come up. So all the teas that I'm showing you today is our #1 best-selling tea, which is the 3001. So if you pop that code into their website, it comes in 2 variations. So you have the 100% combed and ring spun heirloom cotton, or you have 3001 CVC, and that just means it's a heather option. So normally it's 5248 polycotton. So you have a couple of options. The next color story I have is the blues and purples.
Very fitting for the Target podcast, I have to say. We're very on brand.
I think we need to get you guys some of these tones because it would look fantastic.
We'll put podcast prints on those today.
There you go.
We've got some left over.
So we have added real beautiful colors. So we've got your team purple, we have lavender dust as well. So these lavender, lilac, orchid tones are really big for us. We're finding a lot of like the younger market where they're doing their own brand. So your Instagram boutiques, TikTok shops, that kind of thing, where they're wanting, say, a matching set. So we actually have a tracksuit in lilac, and I can imagine with some of these colored tees that would really pop. They're doing really well for us. So yeah,
it's not the first time I've had someone talk to me about lavender and lilac in 2022. I think it's pretty undeniable at this point, isn't it?
It is, and it's only going to get bigger. So we've added these for next year, which is fantastic.
These three together I love as well. That's a good combo.
It's a really nice combo. It's just something, but they're all different, but they really complement each other. So yeah, keep an eye out of that. They are in retail. I mean, I've been, as I do,
wearing all of them,
obviously. So yeah, they're a great color tone to look at. And if you can't tell, I'm a neutral girl. My fave, I mean, the amount of neutral colors that we have is...
I thought you were going to say that I have in my wardrobe.
Oh, yeah, no, Molly, and that, of course. So I'm actually wearing our 6400 in natural, which is a new colorway, which I have here. But we added this beautiful color. I know you like this too. It's the Heather French Vanilla.
I do like that one.
That is such a nice, like more of a neutral yellow. We also added terracotta, which is a big color. We have clay, we have autumn, we have sand dune, like real beautiful neutral tones that are huge in retail. They're massive. This is what people are wearing. One of the top selling colors within our full matching set tracksuit is tan. It's huge, and you have to ensure that we have the right tones within the t-shirt market for those customers, and we do. So again, these are going into industries where maybe they would use a 3001 white tee, for example, historically, and they're now looking at more neutral tones because it's something different, and it's something that really a lot of people can wear, and it complements their skin tone.
That was going to be my next point, is that even though having a lot of colors is a good option for brands, I personally find this, because I have blonde hair, I can't wear a lot of yellows, or there's certain tones that I think people, or women in particular, have trouble with wearing certain tones. But the fact that you have such a wide range of bright to subtle to and everything in between means that there's an option for everyone, and having that available to your customers will make a massive difference. Because like, I wouldn't buy a yellow t-shirt online, but I would buy those because I know I can wear them. And which the yellow sweatshirt that you gave me at the event that we had, what color was that? Sand dune. I've lived in that, and because it's yellow, and I can now wear yellow, and I've never been able to wear yellow in my life. So I think that's something to know.
It's a big point.
It's a broad color range.
It's a huge point.
It's not something that people often talk about either, but it's a big deal when when it comes to buying garments. You go, I can't wear that color.
And I think this is why it's brilliant. No offense, Andy, but to have women, in our industry like this, because we can, we know what people, especially women, want. We know what we look at. We know the questions that we ask. And even for guys, I mean, to be honest with you, there's certain tones that you would prefer and some that you would like rather than other tones. So it's just good knowledge, and it's always good to speak about things like this, because you're right. You have to treat it as a buyer, for example. You have to treat it as if you were going ahead and buying that yourself. So these are all the questions that you would, ask. And like you say, for me, I mean, red is my enemy. I can't even look at red. It's not me. It's just odd. But give me a neutral, give me pinks.
We could do a Christmas, Sam.
No, pink.
Pink Christmas jumper.
Or green. I'll go green.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Those colors, or real bold colors, I'm good with. And this is it. You're right.
I think it just opens up your opportunity to sell to a lot of different people. Because like I say, you might lose the sale if you've only got a certain amount of colors on your website that are available. People go, oh no, they're all a bit boring, or they're all a bit bold, I don't really like them. It's either black, white, red or green, and that's it. And you think, oh no.
And this has been our project for the last few years, is having a color story.
So
having t-shirts and tanks in a set amount of colors and the right colors, and pushing those through into sweatshirts, hoodies, tracksuits, kids, etc., and having the whole story. So you can now have a matching option. Say you loved, for example, military green, you can have that all the way through and all the garments. And that, I think, makes us so different. The thing is, like exactly what you said, people are now buying things they would go into a store and buy. That's important for them. Of course, we're never going to stop making black, white, navy, grey tees. That's the top sellers all day. But the way people are buying has changed. And if you as a brand are not jumping on or getting ahead of that, you'll fall behind because there'll be 100 other people that have got ahead and have picked that up. Whereas if you're still just showing 3 colors or 4 or 5 colors, like you say, it's not enough. So hence why we have 300 colors.
Yeah, I don't think you'll ever be short of colors on Bella Canvas websites.
Think you're good. Yeah, I think you're good.
That's why whenever we make videos and you come in and we have content days and things like that, I love it. But it always stresses me out a bit because I'm like, which garments do we want to use? I can't decide.
No,
I'm like, I stand help.
When I have to choose like color options for you, I'm like, okay.
Did you notice this time I didn't ask you for particular colours? I sent you a list of what I wanted to film and I was like, what do you think would be best?
And I was like, right, okay, let's think about this. Yeah, no, it's great.
So, obviously, I guess you wouldn't recommend all of your customers to have 300 colours available.
Hey, listen, if they want to have 300.
Not everyone has warehouses to store them all in, is the thought.
Like, we get that, of course.
What would you think is a good ballpark? Because there is a lot more people do want more color options.
Right.
Oh, that's a good question.
It might be like 4 or 5. Do you think it's perhaps close to like 10 or 15?
I would say so. And remember, this is the thing. You're not warehousing this as a customer, right? So, for example, Ralawais are on I think it's around I don't want to quote, but I think it's 60 to 70 colorways, almost 100 colorways on both the t-shirt options, for example. Mm-hmm. You're not warehousing all of them. What harm is it for you to put all those colors on your website and offer them?
Yeah, that is a good point. And just order them as you need them. Go.
Yeah. Because if me as an end user, I've got 2 websites in front of me, one showcasing 10 colors. I don't know that if they're holding stock or not. That's not the issue here. One's got 10 colors and one's showing, 50 colors. Wow, I'm thinking they must have a lot more investment, confidence, warehousing space,
knowledge, quality, ability. Yeah,
and look at the colors that they have too. I'm ordering from there.
Yeah,
and you have and then as a actual customer, as in the brand, for example, it doesn't make any difference to you because you're getting that product from the distributor. So why not have all the colors that they offer? I think that's the point where people make these maybe a little bit of a mistake, is they don't offer everything the distributor has. Why not? It showcases how, like you say, how much knowledge you have, how advanced you are, how, in touch with retail colors and styles you are. I think it's brilliant.
And you don't have to stock, like you say, you don't have to stock all of them. You stock 5 to 10 of the most popular ones. And then if somebody wants to order another a batch of 2 to
3 day lead time, or what have you. This is why we have warehouses and distribution. Yeah. So you don't actually have to hold the stock. So why not showcase it? So I would just go for it.
Yeah, I think as well, because I know that a lot of people that listen are quite early on in their journey, and I think some of them have never even started it yet. They're just kind of at the beginning of thinking about it.
Yeah.
But actually, having to. And the question is always like, okay, how do I get started? They think I have to buy 100 t-shirts to start off with.
No, not at all.
Really, you could just, you still have to pay shipping, but you could just buy one.
You can.
But it means that you can, get some transfers and heat press, you can essentially create a print-on-demand service.
Absolutely.
And still have a turnaround is reasonable to your customer. They don't need to know that you've not made their top yet. Because in all honesty, a lot of places you buy them from haven't made them. Apart from the bigger brands, where they have to stock up for the season.
Right.
But even some of them are actually a lot more last minute than you realize.
Oh, definitely.
So you could offer everything in that way. When you're first starting out, you might be like, after a couple months, be like, I wasn't expecting that one to be the right one, but that is my best seller. Maybe I will take a little bit of stock of that, so I can bring my turnaround time down.
Yes.
Decrease delivery costs as well.
It will surprise you a little bit.
Without a doubt. And this is it. I think take advantage of the distributors and their warehouse, to be honest with you. And like you say, use it as market research. So if you're finding, okay, there's maybe 3 colors in particular of a tee that are selling so well, like focus on them a little more and maybe hold stock of just those a little more. And no one's saying you have to hold 100,000 pieces, just hold maybe, a few, so you won't have to, keep ordering tons because they'll sell. So I would treat it as a market research exercise when you start off. It's all digital. You don't have to hold anything, like you say. Once you have your designs and transfers and etc., it's super easy. Just put everything online, put it on an Instagram shop, a TikTok boutique, a website. We have all the images available. You can use every single image. We have front, back, and side shots, every style, lifestyle images. So you don't even have
videos. Even
we do,
which I have utilized.
You have. Well, this is why it's great. Yeah, that's what they're for. So you don't even have to do a whole shoot, a whole photo shoot, at location. We've literally done everything for you. Just to make it super easy. Take that, spend a day, pop it, choose the products that you want. We're more than happy to give you an idea on, say, the top 10 sellers, add them to your site and get going.
Are there lifestyle images as well? There are, aren't there? Yeah, I thought so.
We did a really, really cool shoot recently at this amazing skateboard park, and it looked incredible. And with all the fleece and what have you, and it really, really popped. So utilize it. This is why we're doing that, to just make it so easy for you.
Yeah.
And then printing wise, you guys are there just to, help
supply in 2 days. That's it.
Supply. Yeah, exactly. Simple as that. So, I just feel like sometimes, because there is so much out there's so many brands, there's other distributors, there's other printing companies, etc., and it can be very overwhelming, and it's a lot, especially when you first start. But really, we just have to keep it simple, and just go for it, to be honest.
I think that's important, and that's something I often say to people in here, is that essentially you can do anything now with this. Like I said, 300 colors. We could do unlimited transfer colors.
Right.
So actually, where maybe even 4 or 5 years ago, you might be like, okay, here's my idea, but now I'm going to have to work out what it actually looks like. And here's where I compromise here, compromise there. But now you can actually, just draw or go into Illustrator and create what you want to make, because there'll be a solution to do it now. You don't have to be like, oh, yeah, now I need to have that yellow instead of that yellow. But actually, no, you can find that. You can find it pretty much 99% accurate to your vision.
Right. Exactly that. And I mean, we're so lucky, I think, the people that are starting out now, I would say, because, you have content. We have YouTube. You did a great video recently about how to literally start a T-shirt brand. And I think, do you know what? Fantastic. How amazing would that be? 20 years ago, we had no idea. We're trying to figure it out, So, and, you do seminars and events like we've had recently, where that's what it's about. It's about the education, and it's about, helping you. That's what we want to do. We want to help you to make it so easy for you to use our products and then go ahead and be successful. We all want to win here. So it's great, to be honest. And, we're in a time where the economy is not brilliant. We're in a cost of living crisis, et cetera, et cetera. And I always think that these are the times where real entrepreneurs come out. This is where you see it, during these really hard times, because this is easy to do as a side business, really, or in addition to kind of what you're doing already. You're not having to hold stock. You're not having to buy all of that extra, stock and, all of that. You don't need to do a photo shoot. We have all the images available. It is literally a day of just getting everything uploaded, and it's a great side income for you during these crazy times.
There's quite a few places that I've bought products from recently, and they do a good job of having a pre-order service. So they might say, okay, you've got a week, 2 weeks max to put your order in for this T-shirt, money up front.
Yeah.
And then it'll be fulfilled sometime in the following 2 weeks.
There you go.
It means you could potentially get the money in,
right?
Pay for the T-shirts, pay for the transfers, or even the heat press if you get enough orders.
Yeah.
And that way there's less risk involved by doing it that way as well.
I love that.
And it creates exclusivity.
About having a side hustle, it's not over leveraging everything else you're doing.
Absolutely not. And exactly what you said. When you say about exclusivity, I was just about to say, make it a limited edition garment, or have the 3,000 ones available, but maybe have maybe our baseball or our sweat or a particular color maybe as like a limited edition,
or just a design, like you can do the color again, just change up the designs. You don't have to order hundreds and hundreds transfers. You could order, you could have an order for 10, you could have an order for 10,000. We can sort that out,
exactly. So just little things that you can do you want to create the want, right? You want that demand. You want people to want it. And when it is sometimes like that, a little bit exclusive or a little bit limited or what have you, I don't know about you, but if someone puts that on something, I want it. I want that.
Once it's gone, and you're like, oh, I'm going to miss my window.
Oh, no, I want that right now. So, it's easy. It's easy. Just, we're all here to help. So, these are good times.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I think we're going to see a lot of new businesses come out of next year. I think we're going to see a lot of growth, which I'm excited about. And I'm hoping that everybody will, continue to grow their businesses and continue to use your brilliant Bella Canvas products, our transfers, and come along on the journey with us. We'll always be here every single week, uploading new podcasts, uploading new videos, doing events. So there's never going to be a period where you don't know where to go next or how to introduce. We're always here with new business tips, tricks, everything.
I love that. It's such a nice time, I think, now to be in our industry. People are so kind and people really want to help and just spread a lot of positive energy and just make sure that we're all succeeding, because it's hard. Life is hard, and especially for our customer. And we just want you guys to win, and we want you to do well. And if you need any help at all, that's why we're here. We want that for you. So
their business does well, our businesses do well.
There you go.
That's the bottom line, isn't
That's
it? Brilliant. Does anyone else have anything to add before we go? Do you want to talk about anything else today?
No, I think it's really encouraging to hear how much support there is available for everyone that's listening, which is the main thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Thinking of starting is that there's lots of options, so you can grow and scale at a sensible manner, which and succeed as well. When we've all seen customers that have started off with one T-shirt and one transfer.
Well, exactly.
Over the last couple of years, there've been lots of companies that started, but there's lots of room for everyone as well.
Right.
Is the fact that there's so many, we talk about this a lot on the podcast, so many different niches that are available now. They say that we're uses of your products that you would never even imagine. So there is room for everyone to have a garment decorating business. You just got to stick to it,
right?
And be sensible at how you progress your business.
Absolutely. I think, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, our two owners, when they started the brand, it was just Bella. And for it to be where it is now, which is one of the biggest apparel companies in the world, is incredible, considering you just started off, like you say, with a few options. So if they can do it, anyone can do it. And this is why, they employ people that have that same ethic, where we want you to do well. We want you to, start today. Why not today? Start today. Because guess what? If you're not doing it today, I'm sure there's 10 other people that will do it today. And, use a brand that you would wear, not offer something more low end. So I hate saying this because I sound so biased, but I would wear it. I mean, even when I wasn't working at Bella Canvas, I mean, I've been in 9 years now, but I would wear Bella Canvas. I love it. It's super soft to wear. And that's what you want to stand and work with a brand that you would put your print and your name on. That's the point of this. So have that,
That's a good point, actually, is you're putting, even though it's a Bella Canvas T-shirt and it might be Target transfers, heat transfers, you're putting your name on it. It's your brand, it's your reputation. So choose something that you will be proud to give to somebody and want your name on it, not just something that's going to make you a bit of profit here and there.
Right. Exactly that. So good luck.
Brilliant. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for coming in and joining us today. I love having you on the podcast. It's always one of my favorite days when you come in. We're going to film so many videos for you today. We're going to use the new colours.
Yes.
We've got some exciting stuff planned. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the Target Transfers YouTube channel, subscribe to the Target Transfers podcast. If you want to, go and check out Bella Canvas. All of the links will be in the description as per usual. And we will see you next week with another podcast episode.
Bye.